Happy Mother's Day. Boy, we love mothers. We love mothers like crazy, don't we, Michael? I could sure see Michael. He looking good today. Vanessa's got that big hat on. Now, mamas are very important people, precious people. I remember when I was a boy, my mother taught me to always hug women and give them a kiss on the cheek whenever we met them. If we went to their house or they came to our house, most of the time it's family members or close friends. But I always do that every time, it's honoring them and doing that. Of course, I shake the hands of my uncle so-and-so. That's the way it was back then. We didn't call him by that first name. Go to the woodshed for that. It was always Uncle so-and-so. But I don't know, maybe that's where I got my fondness for women. My mama may have drilled it in my head. But I've always had a very strong feeling for mothers, especially mothers, because of their sacrifice. It's uncanny to me how they got this built-in ability to do all the things they do. I've watched, BR do that stuff. If I had to do it, I honestly don't think I could. I mean, you talk about multitasking. My brain won't split that far. But you mothers are more precious than you'll ever believe. And I think that's important for you to understand because in our day, motherhood has been slammed pretty hard by the feminists in this country. And unfortunately, a lot of people believe it. Right now, having children, they make fun of you for having children, wasting your life. You should be out there, building a career or something like that. You don't want to waste your life with kids. I guess only women that never had a child or probably doesn't like children would say something like that. Because if you ever have a child, I don't care if you're a man or a woman. I mean, you go through this experience you never dreamed of before. When I saw my kids when they first appeared, it just absolutely blew my mind. There's this automatic love you've got for them. I don't know how it happens, but it does. You've got this person you just now met, and you give your life for them in a heartbeat. It's weird. It's really weird. The relationship between parents and child is weird. You all know that. You got parents. Sometimes, unfortunately, I feel bad. Sometimes, unfortunately, some children don't have those kind of parents. But those who do, they know what I'm talking about. The love that exists between mama and children, and that's because you are so precious in their eyes. My mama's not here anymore. You younger ones, you got a mama. Be sure to let her know you love her, because there comes a day when you can't tell them anymore. And that's that. Always be sure to stay on top of it. On TV, they say stay prayed up. Well, stay loved up too. Stay loved up, telling people you love them, the people that you do love. The woman of noble character was written about by Solomon. The literal meaning of the word is a wife of valor. The word valor, according to Webster, means strength of mind or spirit that enables a person to encounter danger with firmness, personal bravery. You always heard about, you mess with a cub and watch out for mama bear. Well, that's true, ain't it? Somebody messes with your child and mama bear is the first one on her hind legs. She's ready to attack. You don't mess with her cub. And that's what this is, encountering danger with firmness, ready to lay down her life for her own child. And she has this personal bravery. It's not her way of life to be so brave, but when her child might be in danger, see how brave she'll be then. Not just a mother. That's not what Solomon's talking about. He's talking about a very special mother, a certain type of mother. There are many kinds of mothers. Like I said a moment ago, some of them won't win any medals for motherhood. But the mother that Solomon's got in mind, she's very special. Very special. I wished I could explain the whole thing of Proverbs 31, but time won't allow me to do that in a thing like this. The responsibility of motherhood. When I brought my firstborn home, I was terrified. As long as he was in the hospital, all was well. Nurses were in charge, right? We brought that dude home, and he was like that big. And I could hold him right there on my arm. And I brought him in the house, and I let him down the floor, and I thought, man, I don't know if we can take care of this little guy. I was so afraid. BR didn't have any children. She didn't know what to do with one, or I didn't think so. I didn't know what to do with him. And here, me and her were with this little baby. I was terrified of what was going to happen. It's a responsibility that is deafening. I've had a lot of responsibilities in my life, different aspects of my life, but I think one of the greatest responsibilities I ever had, if not the greatest, would be raising children. You're raising a person. You know, sometimes that's what bothers me about the feminists. They talk about women having children or wasting their life. They ought to be having a career. Man, this woman is raising a child. She's making a child. She's preparing a child for adulthood. What could possibly be more important than that? I've had responsibilities in my life. I have responsibility right now as a preacher. I've had that responsibility for 40-something years. But I don't think it compares to the responsibility of developing a child. I mean, I had a hand in it, yeah. But you know as good as I did, BR done the grunt work. She made it happen. And I can't think of anybody that has more responsibility than a mother raising children. I don't care what they do. You got the President of the United States governing a country. Fine. The country isn't my offspring. There's nothing more important to me than raising my offspring. And that's where mother usually shines, because they're good at it. They don't have a book to learn from, but they're good at it, just naturally good. And I think that's fascinating. It's good that there's a day for mother. Proverbs 31, let's read what Solomon had to say about her. A wife of noble character, who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. That would be because of her. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. The best friend he ever had. She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She's eager. She's eager to work because she's building something. She's building a family. She's like the merchant ships bringing her food from afar, providing for her family. She gets up while it is still night, dark in the morning. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. She considers a field and she buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. This is her part, her production in her household as she had time. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her tasks. She sees that her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night. She stays up late working. In her hand she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle with her fingers as she spins her wool. She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. When it snows, she has no fear for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. Scarlet means very well clothed because of Mama. She makes coverings for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. Purple always signifies either luxury or bounty, plentiful. Her husband is respected at the city gate. That's where court was held, more or less. The men sitting at the gate would make judgment on various problems, civil problems. He's respected at the city gate in large measure due to his wife, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments, and she sells them, supplies the merchants with sashes, her overflow. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She has no fear. God is above, and all is well at home. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise. They call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Many women do noble things, but this noble woman, oh, you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive, and beauty is fleeting, here today and gone tomorrow. But a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Honor her for all that her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the city gate. I think that's one of the greatest praises towards motherhood that's found in Scripture is this section by Solomon. The mother, you can see, some people say a mother shouldn't work. Well, you see, this mother did work. She was providing for her family as she had time, as she overflow. She would provide for her family. Their situation was different than ours. We live differently than they do. But people, especially, well, I don't know, especially, probably been that way always. People have had to be diverse in the things they did because it takes doing multiple things in order to survive in this world. Sometimes the mother has to work because the husband's paycheck just isn't enough to pay the bills. And the mother helps by working and helping to support the family. And yet at the same time, she knows what her responsibilities are at home, and she cares for them, as does the husband, his own part. But the work is fluid. It depends on what the culture's like at the time. But he's talking about a woman who does what she has to do to take care of her family. And she's faithful in all she does. She's committed to what she does. She makes her husband a man to be respected. Sometimes because of her love and her concern for her husband. Others, especially men, look at her and praise her. Honor him because of what he has. I don't know of any higher praise in Scripture than this one. It sounds like she's perfect, which of course she's not. But this is a target that a woman could shoot for. Her children arise and they call her blessed. And that's what happens today, isn't it? Isn't that what Mother's Day is all about? Behold, the psalmist said, children are a heritage from the Lord. The fruit of their womb is a reward. And it is a reward. It was for me. Boy, it was a reward. Like arrows in the hand of a warrior, so are the children of one's youth. If we make a practical application of it, it would be something like this. Like arrows in the hand of a warrior, so are the children of a young mother. She's got a goal in mind for those children. She's got something that she wants to accomplish with those children. Oh yeah, she clothes them and feeds them and cares for them, but she's got something she wants them to accomplish in adulthood. She wants them to be a good person. She wants them to be a godly person. She wants them to be a successful person. And she works hard to help her children be all that they can be. And in a large measure, that's why children who become adults are what they are, is due to the input from their mother and their father. George Washington, this is a quote I use a lot because it's always meant a lot to me. He said, my mother was the most beautiful woman I ever saw. All I am, I owe to my mother. I attribute all my success in life to the moral, the intellectual, and physical education I received from her. I think that's a typical response from a person. If a man has the virtuous woman, for a mother, for a wife, it would be said equally. Minnesota Crime Commission report. I found this years ago. I forgot to note where I got it from. It is a Minnesota Crime Commission report, but I don't know what the root of it is. Anyway, here's what they had to say. Every baby starts life as a little savage. Now think about what they're saying. And keep in mind, the little baby knows nothing, right? They know nothing. A blank sheet of paper here. Every baby starts life as a little savage. He is completely selfish and self-centered. He wants what he wants when he wants it. His bottle, his mother's attention, his playmate's toys, his uncle's watch, whatever. He doesn't care. He wants it, and he wants it right now. Deny him these, and he sees with rage and aggressiveness, which would be murderous were he not such a helpless person. He's dirty. He has no morals, no knowledge, no developed skills. This means that all children, not just certain children, but all children are born delinquent. You ever thought about that? You got to ponder it for a while. I mean, at first, you want to punch them in the nose. But when you think about it a while, it's frightening true. If permitted to continue in their self-centered world of infancy, given free rein to their impulsive actions to satisfy each want, every child would grow up a criminal, a thief, a killer, a rapist. Now, this is my part. So God created mother. It's her job to keep that from happening. It's her job to help him make something out of himself or herself. And I can't think of any responsibility that's greater or more noble than that one. Making a person, my goodness, oh my goodness. It's a lot more important than making valves like I used to do. Children, obey your parents in the Lord. Paul qualifies that because sometimes children get bad instructions from parents. For this is right. It's the right thing to do. You youngsters, listen. It's right to listen to your mother, listen to your father, and do what they want you to do. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise. The word honor means to value highly. Value highly your mother and father. Hold them in the highest regard and respect. Don't treat them like just somebody else. These are the people that gave you life. It's the right attitude behind the right act of obedience. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment, with a promise. There's a promise attached to this for those who are obedient. Number one, that it may be well with you, that God may bless you during the course of your life. If you honor your father and mother like he wants you to, he can oversee or superintend your life. Now that doesn't mean there's no way any danger is going to come to you, but as a general rule, this will be the outcome of the person who honors their father and mother. For most people, this is going to be true in their life, that it may be well with you and you may live long on the earth. God will superintend your life as you live it. If you love, honor your mother and father. That's the promise that he's talking about. In Deuteronomy 6:20-24, the Lord commanded us to observe all these statutes, the commands of God. Why? Because they're for our good always. God's commands are given to us to protect us. Remember, there was a time when people frowned on adultery. There was a time when people frowned on fornication. You weren't just supposed to run around with just anybody. You weren't supposed to act like a bunch of animals, switching partners every day or every other day or whatever the case may be. Why did God give the command as he did? To protect us. Look at the things that has happened since people threw caution to the wind. When it was no longer wrong to commit adultery. When it was no longer wrong to be involved in fornication. How many people die every year because of the AIDS virus? And they're not going to say it, but we know it comes out of the gay community. It's where men do things they're not supposed to do with men. And it's caused many people to be sick and many to die. It's caused many innocent people to be sick because of their behavior, because they've been exposed to their blood, and it's been transferred to them. We've got a whole situation that shouldn't even exist, wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for people behaving like animals. God didn't just give the rules so people couldn't have fun, as one guy told me one time. God just doesn't want us to have fun. It ain't to keep us from having fun, it's to protect us. To protect us from those things that might hurt us. He wants us to honor our mother and father. Why? Because it's good for us. It helps to form who we become. It's like a germ that germinates within us and expands all the days of our life. The Lord Jesus said in John 10, verse 10, I have come that they may have life, and that they may have life more abundantly. That they may live the best life possible. This is why I've given the instructions I've given, so you can enjoy life as it was meant to be enjoyed. But most people don't believe that. Not even close. Even religious people don't believe it. Because even though there's many people who are religious indeed, they commit the same sins that non-religious people do. As a matter of fact, it's been about 20 years ago, but I seen a poll where the religious people were worse than the non-religious people were. Not by much, but they were worse in their behavior. And no telling how many didn't own up to what they had done. The Bible's not a rule book, a bunch of do's and don'ts. It's our guide. On a TV, I heard somebody say one time, I don't remember if it was getting married or having a baby or what it was. I wish these things came with a guidebook. How to, marriage for dummies, whatever. We've got the guidebook. It's called the Bible. It tells us what to do. It tells us how to do it. And if we do it, we can enjoy a better life. But people don't believe that. They don't like the do's and the don'ts. Because people want to do what they do. What a sad thing. What a sad state of affairs when our country turned its back on God. It's been downhill ever since. And those of you that's my age, you know I'm telling the truth because we've watched it. All these years, we've watched it deteriorate till we've gotten to the state where we are right now. Didn't have to be this way. Didn't have to be this way. Listen to your father who begot you. Do not despise your mother when she is old. This is their Medicare system. You take care of your parents when they can't take care of themselves. We got Medicare, right? We got home nurses and all this other stuff. Back then, Mama didn't have anything. I've been in India, and I remember one woman over there, she had nowhere to live. Her husband had died, she was old, and somebody wanted her hut, and they pushed her out, and they lived in her hut. She lived outside. The only thing she could do was hope somebody would let her stay or let her eat, feed her. And she would go from hut to hut, hoping to have a dry place at night, and hoping they would give her a handful of rice or whatever they had to spare. And that's the way that woman lived. And man, I tell you, it broke my heart. Man, I don't know how, she looked like she was about 140, but I guess she was probably around in her 80s or something. But she looked wore out. It was so pitiful. But there's no Medicare, you see. God's saying, don't let your parents live that way. You make sure they're taken care of in their old age, especially your mama. The Jews created a loophole. That's what was read a few moments ago in Matthew chapter 15. They said it was not necessary to take care of your parents as long as you make a one-time donation to the temple. And Jesus said by doing that, you have made the commandment of God of no effect by your tradition. The commandment of God was designed to take care of the mother and father in their old age. It was good. And when they came up with this rule, this one-time offering, and you're off the hook, they made God's commandment of no value whatsoever. So now you got a woman going around looking for a handful of rice and a place to sleep where she can get out of the weather because nobody's taking care of her anymore. Well, I would say, how sorry could that possibly be? Jesus at age 12 in Luke chapter 2, he went down with his parents and he came to Nazareth and was subject to them. He placed himself in subjection to his mama and his stepfather, Joseph. The word subjection, of course, means to accept their authority as his parents. This is in keeping with the command given to children to obey their parents as in Ephesians 6:1. This is from the Complete Word Study Dictionary of the New Testament. Jesus is God in flesh. And even though he was God in flesh, he subjected himself to his mother Mary and Joseph, his stepfather. Why? Remember what Paul said? Because this is the right thing to do. He was the greater. They were the lesser. But he willingly submitted to their authority because it was right to do so. If it was right for the Son of God to do that, how much more right is it for you and I to do that? Parents, you've got to teach your children to respect you, even if you got to whoop them for it. You've got to teach them to respect you. When you speak, they have to listen. When you want them to do something, they need to do it. You need to have their respect. One of the most important things of all is their respect. If you've got their respect, you'll have their love. And believe me, there's much more love coming if they respect you than the love you receive if you just give them what they want because you don't want them to be mad at you. It doesn't work that way. The parents that are appreciated the most are the parents that invested the most in their children. That's well documented. Besides the experience so many people have gone through. The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. Man, I tell you, that's the truth. That is the truth. The President of the United States wields a lot of power. Not as much as a mother does. Because she's producing people. She bears great responsibility in her work. Proverbs 31 says, honor her for all that her hands have done. Let her work bring her praise at the city gate. That's what Mother's Day is all about. We should tell mamas that we love them all the time. We should always honor and reverence our mothers every day. But today is a day we show it more, I guess, than the average day. And I know you will. I feel like I'm preaching to the choir. Well, I guess I am. I just want mamas to know how much we love them. More importantly, how much God loves you because you're so honorable. I hope you have a great day. I really hope you have a great day. I hope you feel good. I hope you eat good, and I hope you get a nap in. It always makes Sunday better for me when I get a little nap. But I hope you have a good life. If we can help you in any way whatsoever, in obeying God or with the difficulties of life, please never be afraid or ashamed to talk to your elders. We're not only willing to listen, we probably can help if you give us the opportunity. If you need God's forgiveness, we hope you'll come while together we stand and while